June 24th. On the surface, it really just looks like another totally ordinary day on the calendar. But if you actually dig into the history of math and science, it is arguably one of the greatest dates in human history. Okay, let's dive into this. See, on this exact date, across completely different centuries and countries, three absolutely brilliant minds were born. And together, even though they never actually collaborated or even met each other, they secretly laid the complex mathematical foundation for the 21st century world that you and I live in right now. In this explainer, we're going to explore how their groundbreaking discoveries shape literally everything, from the device sitting in your pocket to your very understanding of the cosmos. So let's meet them, one by one.
We're looking at three wildly different years here. 1880 with Oswald Veblen, 1915 with Fred Hoyle, and 1917 with Joan Clarke. Three totally different eras, totally different scientific climates, but the exact same birthday. These three individuals are the quiet architects of our modern era. To really get a grasp on the magnitude of what they accomplished, we first need to look at a massive problem we face every single day in our digital age.
Think about your daily digital life for a quick second. Have you ever wondered why malicious hackers can't just, easily intercept and read our private text messages or steal our video game passwords right out of thin air? Every single second, billions of pieces of sensitive data are just flying across the globe through public networks. So what actually stands between your private, intimate data and total digital chaos? Well, the barrier isn't a physical wall. It is a nearly impenetrable mathematical lock.
And the foundation of that lock actually traces all the way back to a brilliant mathematician named Joan Clarke, who was born on June 24th, 1917. During the absolute darkest and most high-stakes days of World War II, Clarke worked at the top-secret Bletchley Park. At the time, the German Navy was using this infamous Enigma machine to scramble their communications. We're talking billions of seemingly unbreakable randomized combinations. But here's the thing. Clarke didn't just guess blindly. No, she used highly advanced probability and logic to find these tiny, obscure, hidden patterns buried deep inside the ciphertext. By identifying those incredibly subtle patterns, she drastically reduced the search space for the correct code. She literally turned an impossible task into a solvable equation. By finding order in total chaos, she helped break the Enigma. And that exact same foundational logic of cryptography, that's exactly what powers the modern encryption algorithms keeping your digital life completely safe today.
So, the crucial point is, every single secure text you send, every digital payment you make, every private login you use is shielded by the exact same mathematical warfare that helped turn the tide of World War II. You're basically carrying the legacy of Joan Clarke's cryptographic genius right there in your pocket.
Let's move to and see how this builds. We're staying on June 24th, obviously, but we're going to jump back just 2 years to 1915. Fred Hoyle, Joan Clarke, Oswald Veblen. We're scaling way up for this one, moving far, far beyond our planet and our digital networks. Let's meet our next visionary. Take a look at the phone or the tablet or computer screen you're watching this on right now. Have you ever stopped to wonder where the actual physical atoms, like the silicon in the microchips, the gold in the wiring, the iron in the casing, where they originally came from before they were just mined out of the earth? For the longest time, the origin of these heavy elements was a massive scientific mystery. How did the universe actually create the building blocks of our technology, and for that matter, the building blocks of our own bodies?
Well, the answer takes us right to Fred Hoyle, born June 24th, 1915. He was this pioneering astronomer who fundamentally changed how we understand the universe. Hoyle used some incredibly complex math and physics to prove a process called stellar nucleosynthesis. Basically, he figured out that the universe's early stars acted like giant cosmic pressure cookers. It was only inside the unbelievably hot, dense cores of these dying, exploding stars that lightweight atoms were smashed together with enough force to literally forge the heavy elements that make up our world. And what's super funny about Hoyle is that he actually coined the famous term Big Bang as a sarcastic joke on a radio show. He didn't even believe in that specific theory at first, but his serious, rigorous math absolutely undeniably proved our cosmic origins. And this brilliantly illustrates one of the most poetic and awe-inspiring facts in all of science. The atoms in your screen, the iron in your blood, and the carbon in your hand are quite literally made of ancient stardust. You are holding the remnants of a dead star, mathematically proven by a man born on June 24th. How wild is that?
One date, so many massive stories. Let's keep going down the timeline. We're now jumping back another 35 years to June 24th, 1880, with Oswald Veblen. We're stepping all the way back into the Victorian era, long before computers or satellites were even a blip in science fiction.
to explore a highly abstract mathematical idea that quietly runs our entire modern infrastructure.
Think about how often you rely on a map app to get around your city. Have you ever wondered how your phone instantly understands the sheer complexity of millions of intersecting roads, one-way streets, traffic patterns, and crazy detours to calculate the absolute quickest path to your destination? And it does this in, what, a matter of milliseconds? Honestly, navigating a chaotic web of connections like that is an incredibly difficult mathematical problem.
But the foundation for that very technology was laid by Oswald Veblen, born June 24, 1880. Veblen was a profound pioneer in this specialized field of math called topology. Now, unlike traditional geometry that cares about exact distances, straight lines and rigid shapes, topology is purely the study of how things connect. Think of a complex subway map. It doesn't actually matter how long the physical tracks are underground. What matters is simply which stations connect to which. Veblen mapped out the rigorous mathematical rules for exactly these kinds of networks. Today, his purely theoretical math is the invisible engine that allows GPS algorithms to route your car seamlessly, and data packets to route through the entire internet flawlessly without getting lost.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just how perfectly it bridges the past and the present. It is just incredible to think that a 19th century mathematician's absolute obsession with abstract, formless shapes is exactly what gets you to work on time today. The invisible math of shapes and networks guides you to your destination every single day.
So what ultimately connects all these pioneers? Joan Clarke found patterns to decode secrets, Fred Hoyle found patterns in the stars, and Oswald Veblen found patterns and shapes to navigate networks. Every single person we met in this explainer today, born on the exact same day but living in vastly different centuries, looked at the world and asked the exact same fundamental question. What is the pattern hiding inside the chaos? Because they bothered to ask those questions, our modern world is safe, it's connected, and it's deeply understood.
So the next time you send a secure text message, or look up at the night sky, or follow a little blue line on your digital map, ask yourself, what hidden pattern will you discover next? The universe around us is really just a continuous mathematical mystery, just waiting for the right mind to come along and decode it. Stay curious, keep asking those big questions, and thank you so much